So I'm auditioning for the next role of Red Riding Hood, the sequel, and I've been told to sit here and talk about the film and all the people that I've talked to. So I talked to Amanda and Max and all these people, but they've told me to sit here and wait for the director to take a look at me. So I don't know. Here I am, waiting. Do you think I got the part? What do you think? I have to ask you like a curiosity question on my end, in the sense that, not for anybody else, is that you have this wonderful ability to tell stories about young people. And why? Like, is it because during your kind of formative years that there was, I don't know, there was a lot of experience in the sense that you, and it kind of triggered you to kind of be able to tell the stories, and then now maybe a sense memory of sorts, you know, like what is it about young people that you feel, what makes you so good at what you do?
I mean, I think that is one of everybody's kind of formative times that you remember like very vividly in your life. When you turn like 13 years old, or the first time that you know, kissed a guy or a girl, you know, that's like pretty exciting. Or the first time you know, grabbed a drink or got to drive a car, like at that moment in your life. So many things are possible, and you believe that nothing will happen to me and I can do anything, the craziest thing in the world, and you'll take all these kind of cool risks, you know, that, and everything is so important and everything is dramatic and heightened. So that makes like for like kind of good entertainment, I think, you know. You kind of want to be back there, even if you're not a teenager anymore. You remember that, and it touches something inside you, and you go back and just kind of relive those moments where you didn't have to worry about paying the bills or whatever.
Does that kind of make you also the choices of the type of movies that you want? Because I'm sure a director on your level, you get scripts all the time, and I'm just wondering, are these the scripts that kind of you feel, oh, well, this, you know, like what makes you choose the movies that you want to do?
Well, you know, I'll read a script and I'll want to immediately feel like I could do something with that. You know, I could, you know, make something there. I could create with that, you know, raw material. So, you know, if visions start coming to me, that gets me excited. If I start seeing how, or if I read a scene, I'm like, I want to see that scene come along. I want to see how those characters would talk to each other. I want to see how that could happen. That I want to watch that. That's one thing that gets me excited.
Amanda is this, when I was talking to her, she's interesting because she looks like she looks.
An angel.
But underneath, there's a total edge to her, which I thought was really awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So did you see that when you first met her, or does this kind of like show itself as time went on?
I've known her, you know, off and on. She'd been to my house, you know, like a while ago with Emile Hirsch and, you know, other friends. So I'd kind of been around her a little bit and watching her. And of course, in her other movies, she makes some edgy choices like Chloe and Jennifer's Body, and she's fearless. That's one thing that I love about her. I mean, she'll just say anything, do anything, you know, and she's super creative.
And did that kind of allow you to push the boundaries of this story then, because you knew that you had this actress that kind of was able to try different things? And
Definitely. I knew that she would go wherever we needed to go with this story. And then she does have that imagination, that wicked imagination. She was going to have to be acting against an invisible wolf.
To be able to almost retell a classic, were there certain elements that you felt has been missing, and you know, through folklore and stuff? What were the things that you felt that you wanted to bring back into this version?
Well, I did love the idea that these original stories had like an ogre, or it had a supernatural creature and a shapeshifter, a werewolf in the original stories. The monster in the woods wasn't just an animal. So that's one thing that we did, bringing back that supernatural element, and then the erotic undertones that have been sanitized quite a bit as you retell them for children. Let's not have any temptations in there and just make it a story like don't talk to strangers. You know, the original ones just were a lot grittier and a lot pricklier and more interesting.
Last question. This film seems to set the zeitgeist for a slew of other type of fairy tales that are coming out in the next couple of years. Did you know that that was happening, or do you feel like it was one of those things like, oh, Catherine's doing this film, so now we all have to do our version of...
Well, I didn't know about it at the time. In fact, I was naive enough to think, oh, maybe I'll get to do a bunch of other fairy tales. And then 5 minutes after I started, hey, there's a Snow White, there's a Hansel and Gretel, so I got to move on to another world.
Darn it. All right, well, we look forward to your next adventure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.